sit down. I'm talking generational wealth. I'm not new to it, I'm true to it. Trailblazing, I ain't new to it, I'm true to it. That's dedication to the team. Living a dream, come profit with me. Made it mean I'm selling that coffee and tea. Grinding just like coffee beans. Living in my community. Now I need more assets and less liabilities. Gonna buy the whole block up, and it's all because of Tava, yeah. Turn nothing into something with a mindset of abundance where overflowing, 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 overflowing.
Hey, everybody. Good morning. Good morning. This is Tanya, and I just wanted to pop in and let you know a few things before we get started on this morning's training. First of all, we have some exciting things going on here at Tava, as you know, and so I am going to just jump right into the announcements. Welcome, and while I'm doing these announcements, I want you to tag everyone on your team, tag people that were formerly on your team, because this training is so impactful. As a matter of fact, let me be perfectly honest with you. This is a rebroadcast that I'm going to share with you this morning. The reason why I decided to do this is because the information given, the historical facts at this point in our history, being October, this is the month of celebration for us. This is our anniversary month. I remembered that we did a training on leverage, and during that training, we went back through basically kind of the history of Tava, how we got to where we are, and the introduction of TavaVerse with a very special guest, that being the systems educator, Camille Westmoreland. And we talked about leveraging the different divisions of Tava. And that's very, very important at this juncture of your business, especially going into the holiday season where people are looking for gifts. You're falling in love with myself again, box. Where people are looking to get a new start. People are looking for investments. Everything that Tava has, we have the solution to right here with our three divisions. People are traveling to go see their families. We have Tava Worldwide. So we really want you to be able to take advantage of Tava's different divisions and be able to use your leverage language, which you're going to learn about during this training. This training is the one training that will guaranteed catapult your business if you understand how to truly leverage everything that you have in your hand. So before we get started into that, I really want to go over some exciting things that's happening right now. Let's start off with some savings. Fall for savings. 20% off of your entire cart. Now, this is for wholesale retail. This is for everybody. So when you select all of the items that you would like, when you go to your cart to check out, you are going to see a 20% discount automatically. That is fall for savings. It's your time. It's your turn to save some money and grab your Tava products. Now, something that you didn't know is going on that I really want to share with you, and if you checked your email, you might have seen this come across, but on tomorrow, Sunday, October 22nd, there will be a company-wide discussion. This is going to be different from any other meeting we've ever had. This is a company-wide discussion. It will not be led by corporate. It will not be myself or Lachelle or Mr. Lloyd or Mrs. Lloyd leading the discussion and jumping in and asking questions and telling you new things. No, what we have found during the several meetings that we've had, just individual exclusive meetings that we've had with different bodies within Tava Nation, is that there's so many good ideas when the field talks to the field. So this meeting is from the field to the field, led by the field. So we're very excited about this meeting. It is a private, exclusive, private Zoom. You can please take a screenshot of the screen if you did not get the email with the information, so that you know where to be Sunday night at 8 p.m. Central. This is your meeting. This is your team meeting. This is your Tava Nation meeting. This is just for you. Let's get it, Phil. Let's go. And then, oh my goodness, what's happening on November 11th? 11/11/23. What is happening? What is going down in Houston? If you don't know, like I know, I can show you better than I can tell. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. That's right. October is going to be a bonanza. But we are going into November with heat. On November 11th, everything is going to go up. You think October is fantastic. You thought Atlanta was it. Houston, here we come. The Never Broke Again tour is on the way. Make sure you go to your back office and get your tickets. As you see, we got surprises. We're building it up. We are planning, and we're planning something special just for you. So make sure you are in the house November 11th. Like I said, October has been bananas, but November, man, we might just call it the banana split. Let's go, everybody. Let's go. All right, you guys. So let's go ahead and jump into this training. Like I said, get your pens and papers ready, because this training was amazing. So amazing that I decided to bring it back. So I really hope you enjoy it. Get something for it. And hey, I will see you all next week. All right. Bye, everybody. The training is really about leverage and leveraging not just your business, because everyone everywhere has always talked about it's hot. Leveraging your business. We've talked about that. We've talked about that for years. Everybody says, "Oh, leverage your business," and we kind of know what that means. You know, and I'm just going to sit back and talk to you for a minute. We kind of understand what it means to leverage your business. But when you are in a business like Tava, where your CEOs are not just regular CEOs, not fly by night CBOs, but your CEOs are actually forward thinking mindset CEOs, where they don't just look at the traditional, but they think outside the box to expand the opportunities for their people. And their people meaning Tava Nation, because I'm talking about our CEOs, and I am grateful to them to even give me a chance to be on this training to speak with you. That's forward thinking. That's forward thinking. So write that down, is that a forward thinking mindset is the first part of leveraging. Is because I looked it up. I looked it up and I'm looking at some notes, and it says a forward thinking mindset is one that is invested in the future. CEOs, and I promise you, I got this off the Mr. Dr. Google. Said CEOs who practice this level of strategic thinking can see the challenges ahead and lay the framework for how to overcome them. If I was in the pulpit, I'd say, can the church say amen? Let me say that again. CEOs who practice this level of strategic thinking can see the challenges ahead and lay the framework for how to overcome them. If that is not the description of Mr. Kenny Lloyd, I need you to go find another Google. Go find another. Y'all know y'all churchy in there talking about amen in the chat. Because let me explain why I know this, that we have a strategic thinking CEO. Our CEO founded a company called Tava in 2019. That was right before something called a pandemic happened. Think about it now. Tava, and we get spiritual for a second. Tava, it means, it's just another word for ark, and we know that. But also Tav, the word Tav, the root word, means that it is in harmony with God. So I'm not going to stay there long, but think about it. During a pandemic, a strategic CEO, right before the pandemic happened, he built an ark. The world was going into crisis, and this man built an ark. So this is where we're talking about pivoting, because in the midst of the hoopla and the hooray and everything going well for a little company called Tava that the mega companies probably laughed about in 2019 now, where everybody October 2019, where other companies had several products and had a lot of things going on, a company named Tava was born. Right before the pandemic, the name Tava means ark, which we know biblically meant that it was a rescue. It was a place of a safe haven. So in a pandemic, I'm not sure how you're thinking, but I would like to have and know that I am secure in a safe haven. So it's good to be on the ark. So in other words, it's good to be united with Tava, and other companies laughed at us. And I'm just telling the truth. I might get in trouble for this. I get in trouble all the time. But other companies laughed at us because we had 3 products when we started. But those 3 products were improved, and those 3 products literally addressed the concerns of the masses without the fluff. We had no distractions, so we created a safe haven, first of all. Now, here's the pivot: a safe haven that addressed the ills of a nation, where people were able to capitalize, make millions, do what they needed to do during a time where everybody was on lockdown. That is a strategic CEO. That is a forward thing. I'm not saying that, he knew the pandemic was happening, but he had the solution. He had strategic planning. So the way he launched the business, the way the Lloyds launched the business, was already ready for whatever may come. That's anointing there. So now we're talking about pivot. So now all of a sudden a pandemic hits, and you must pivot. That means I played basketball. So when we would pivot, we would be running in one direction, and then we would, on our left or right foot, we would stop and turn. That's a pivot. When you have to suddenly, abruptly Stop and adjust to the time. Now, when you are under the tutelage of a strategic thinking or forward thinking CEO or leadership, what happens is that it is not so abrupt because there's a plan in hand. That's why even though we have our highs and lows with traditional MLM, it is nowhere near where it could be. And those of you that know, you see these gray hairs, you know I've been in this direct sales business for a very long time. I've worked with some of the greatest, you know that. And I've seen some of the failures, you know that. I've been around. So when I say that the pivot is not so abrupt because the planning is a must. You must plan. And our strategic forward thinking CEO has planned. Now, here's the challenge and why it's so important that we do this training. And when I bring Camille up, I believe that she will complement and continue on with this dialogue. But here's the important part. And I want you to get this, is that we as a community, as direct sales specialists, MLMers, whatever you want to call yourselves, we are not used to forward-thinking CEOs. So when someone says, oh, we're getting a new product, we often think, oh, it's going to be a candle. Oh, it's going to be a shake. Oh, it's going to be this. Oh, it's going to be that. It's got to be a traditional product that I'm used to dealing with. And that's not always what happened here. Now, we've had a few more products and they are amazing. Our products are amazing. But then because we have a forward-thinking CEO, this man came up with something totally outside the realm of health and wellness and said, now that the pandemic is over, yeah, I'm back there. Now that the pandemic is over, people want to get around. People want to start going places and doing things. So he comes up with something called Tava Worldwide. Have you not put that together? That is now a solution? Because why is Tava Worldwide a solution? And I really want everyone, when you get off of this training, not right now, because this training is too good, but when you get off of this training, I want you to go and look at Tava Worldwide, seriously, because I want to see if you see the components I see. We were in a pandemic where we were locked down and couldn't do nothing, and we couldn't even work, so we couldn't make money. Then all of a sudden, they opened the floodgates and we can go and do whatever we want as long as we had on a mask. So then Tava comes up with something called Tava Worldwide. And it says, go ahead and travel, go live your luxurious life. And it's at a huge discount because here it is. We understood that you haven't been able to work for 2 years. You need the savings. And if you don't need the savings, oh, what a glorious thing it is to be able to save just anyway. So Tava Worldwide now addresses another ailment that's actually happening because we needed the freedom to move around, the freedom to move around the world. And our forward-thinking CEO, he introduces that. Now, in the meantime, after that, and I'm just trying to take you through the lineage because I want you to leverage your business. So there is another stream of income for you with Tava Worldwide, but we might not know how to discuss it and offer it. In other words, we didn't know how to leverage this opportunity or this business called Tava Worldwide. You get that? In the chat, if you got that, let me know. If you're struggling with leveraging Tava Worldwide, talk to me. Let me know. Because I know that we are, because it's not a pill. It's not a liquid vitamin. It's not what we're used to. So how do I discuss it? Just like I did. Now go back and look at the benefits of Tava Worldwide. Go back and look at the payouts, look at how you can benefit, because that's a stream of income that you have ignored. That's why we're talking about leveraging your business right now, because I am sick and tired of watching my Tavan brothers and sisters ignore their money. And it's on the table. I can't wait till Camille come up here and let y'all have it. Seriously. Seriously. And and Camille talks about systems, and she's the systems educator. If you were in TavaVerse, then you would get a real good look at her. But really, go back and look, and then we can do a whole training on worldwide, because we got to understand what's in our hand and understand how to discuss it, how to present it, because you are leaving money on the table, and it just breaks my soul. No, it don't break my soul. That ain't that serious. But it pains me to see folks leaving money on the table. And let me go to the next one. That's enough of that, because I got about 7 minutes before I got to bring Camille up. So just hang with me for 7 more minutes, okay? Because Camille coming. I know that's why y'all really here. It ain't about me. I got you. We're good. I love you too. Because then this forward look thinking CEOs that we got, Kenny and Shantae Lloyd, they said, and I'm training right now. I'm really training right now. So I hope you're getting your notes. They saw that once people came out of the house, they forgot how to be social. They forgot about loving themselves. They forgot about dealing with themselves. They saw hurt. They saw pain, because when we were in the house, we had nothing else to do but talk and share on social media, and always without knowing, we noticed a trend, and I know that Mr. Lloyd noticed it in me. I noticed it, that people didn't even love themselves, because we couldn't even spend time with ourselves alone. It was a frightening situation, that pandemic. So again, here we go again with another opportunity, forward thinking. Here's something else in your hand, and you're leaving money on the table, because this is another opportunity. This thing called falling in love with myself again. Where's my mic? Yes, I dropped my mic. Yeah, it's my pen actually, but yeah, you get that? Falling in love with myself again. Let me. I'm just gonna drop this, because I only got about 5 more minutes before I got to bring Camille up. Before I got to bring Camille up. So let me just drop this for you. Falling in love with myself again. We are so used to selling samples, 10 coffees for $40. 5 teas for whatever. We are so used for doing things traditional that we did not see the true opportunity that was available to us when Tava got a beautiful, expensive box, put samples in the box of almost every product, and said, here it is for $100 through your dedicated website. You receive money back for everyone that sold. I don't know if you know that. And all you have to do, for those of you that love selling samples, instead, share with your folks that by purchasing this $100 box, instead of 4 for 10 and 4 for 20, that $200 value is available to them. But not only that, and here's the language for falling in love with myself again. You don't just get a sample 10-day supply of all of our products, except for one. You don't get just that. You get something more. You get that. You get a community, engaged community, where we talk every day and share love every single day in a private group on Facebook. So you have a community. All of this for $100 now. Oh, I already gave you my $99, or however much it was, $149, whatever it is. I already gave it to you, because I already saved money on the samples. But you tell me there's more. Yeah, you get a community. But not only that, you have another community with a website that gives you day-by-day structured instructions on improving your life and falling in love. This is leverage, you guys. We're leveraging out of people's pain, hurt, and need a solution. And our CEO says, because you are helping others, I will help you. Here's your compensation. It's real simple. But what is your language? What is your, write that down. Somebody put it in the chat. What is your leverage language? I made that up, Camille. You got that leverage language? Yeah, I made that up. What is your leverage language? When you are speaking to people out there in the field that you meet every day, the folks you meet at the post office, because there's no more pandemic, we out in the streets now. When you're going out there, what is your leverage language? That's your homework. And this is what I'm going to do. I see everybody who's in this chat. You shouldn't have said nothing. Now that you said something, I'm coming for you on social media. I want you to start sharing your leverage language on your, Beauty, put that in the chat. That's their homework. Share on your social media your leverage language. Start using your leverage language. Start using your leverage language. For whatever product, whatever you see people having an issue with in your community, use your leverage language to respond and watch what happens. Watch how your inbox blows up because you're now leveraging what Tava has put in your hand. Okay, it's time for me to go. So I've gotten through the products. I'm right on time. I've gotten through the products. So now we've gotten to this point where we see every market, we see this crypto world getting chaos. We're about to go on crypto because that was the hottest, biggest thing going. And our forward-thinking mindset CEO, our CEO with forward-thinking mindset said, yep, let's go. We need to enter the world of finance. Let's go. And then all of a sudden he said, oh, wait a minute. We need to look at hard assets. And he collaborated with a visionary named Jewel Tankard. And on April 29th, we launched something called TavaVerse. Now, we've been talking about TavaVerse for the last 2 years. TavaVerse, TavaVerse, TavaVerse. We knew that TavaVerse was going to happen, but it has to happen because remember, we are in alignment with the Spirit of God. We are in alignment. So we cannot do anything out of order. When it does, it kicks us in the butt. So we have to go back every single time and pray and make sure that it's right and understand that our footsteps are ordered. I know that I'm churchy and I apologize for that, not for being churchy, but because you didn't recognize me for my churchiness. Let me explain that to you. What happens is that because we rooted ourselves in the word and in that belief, and we are coveted and connected with a forward-thinking mindset kind of CEOs. When things are happening in the atmosphere and in the environment, we have already established a solution. That's why the word TavaVerse, universe, that's why it was already established 2 years ago. But factually, everything had to line up because we didn't understand, even though we understood there was a need for a financial solution, we didn't know in which arena exactly it needed to be. Oh, we thought it was in this arena. Back on up. That ain't it. We thought it was in this arena. That ain't it. We thought. And then suddenly, without warning, and I just love it, serving a suddenly kind of God, suddenly without warning, these two came together in collaboration and realized that hard assets go nowhere. Yet we don't realize what's in our hand. And our CEO said, that's it. That's it. I will allow you to bring it to my people, meaning Tava Nation. And so with that in mind, you got to have a system, and you got to have a systems educator. And the systems educator, you like that segue? Yeah, y'all didn't even know that was a whole introduction. That's what happens when you churchy. Okay, so what happens is that there's a young lady named Camille Westmoreland, and you saw her on the flyer. You've seen her on banners. She just hit rank, and that's what I love is that they're hitting rank because they understand leveraging, and they understand that your health is your wealth. It's not just about your money and your cars and the tangibles, but who cares if you land in a casket? It's not going to mean a lot to you. So now I'm going to bring up, that's right, Hazel. She is great. I'm going to bring up to talk to y'all for a few minutes. None other, I'm 5 minutes over, Camille. So we're going to be 5 minutes longer, y'all. Hope you're enjoying this training, and hope you're getting something out of it. If you're getting something out of it, while I bring up Camille, why don't you guys go ahead and put some fire or some 100s in the chat? Let me know that you're getting something out of it, because you got homework. And believe me, I'm showing up on y'all page. Don't think I'm not showing up. I'm showing up on your page, and I'm going to ask, where's your leverage language? I'm hitting you guys up. I inspect what I expect. So know that if you see I'm doing a training, no, you're going to come and show up and get some homework, and I'm going to inspect that it is being done. So without further ado, I'm bringing up Miss Camille Westmoreland. Hey!
Oh my gosh. I got so many notes over here, like off the chain, off the chain, off the chain. And thank you so much for inviting me to be a part of this morning session. I'm definitely honored to be a part of Tava Nation and excited to see where we go from here as we continue to elevate and grow.
Absolutely. And I am so happy that when we were in the chat, I was like, who am I going to get? Who am I going to get? Because you know how our conversation is going. We're trying to explain who was going to be on what day, because ladies and gentlemen, what you don't know is that as I'm responsible for scheduling the trainings and the series and making sure that you guys are getting the right message, and a lot of stuff that I do that you might not know that I do. And one thing is that I wanted to match up people. Like Beauty is coming next week with our marketing, which is perfect because Beauty is talking about engagement part 2, and she's connected with marketing. But my mind's eye said that I'm marketing, she's marketing. It'd be crazy for us. And it was like the Lord said, no, ma'am. No, ma'am. Stop trying to work it out and let me handle this. And I think that it's amazing that the training and our conversation has gone the way it is. So I'm excited to turn this over to you. And you heard what I shared. And I just would like for you to take a few minutes, as you know, and to pick up where I left off with the leverage language. I saw you write that down like, oh, that wasn't good. I know I made it up. I didn't want you to think that I had that plan. But what I would like for you to do is just pick up, and from a TavaVerse perspective, how can the Tavans capitalize and use that? How can they leverage where they have been for the last 3 years to what's open to them now? And where are we going? What's happening? And because TavaVerse is a whole community and you got to be a part of it to be a part of it. So please go ahead, have some fun, and then let me know when you're ready, and then we can have a conversation. If you like, and if you want me just to shut up and play the song, I can do that too. But I'm turning it over to you, my friend, and thank you so much.
Absolutely. So thank you all so much for tuning in. Rock shared some amazing insight, and I took a lot of notes, but one of the things that I want to do first is make sure that you all have a clear understanding of the difference between leveraging and the difference between pivoting, right? And so we've been talking about leveraging today, which basically is saying you're taking advantage and using to its max capacity what you have in front of you. Okay. And so as all of us being part of Tava, like even with me being part of TavaVerse, I was like, I can't leave the worldwide side because I'm leaving money on the table. I can't leave the health and wellness side to the wayside because I'm leaving money on the table. So what am I doing? I'm pivoting and I'm shifting in my mindset to leverage everything that has been laid on the table for us. And so what my focus is this morning is to help bring and bridge the gap so every person can understand to its full what TavaVerse is and how you can leverage TavaVerse to maximize your business. One of the things I want to make sure that I say first, that I live by, Warren Buffett said, if you don't find a way to make money in your sleep, you're going to work until the day that you die. So that is something I always keep in the forefront of my mind. Number one, because if we don't do that, we know people and have family members who are 60, 70, 80 who retired but didn't make enough money through retirement where they had to go back to work or do all these things. And so what I really want each of you all to understand is that with this amazing opportunity of Tava, okay, where we have Tava Fit, Tava Worldwide, and TavaVerse, our CEOs have positioned us to not only be able to create cash flow, but through TavaVerse leg, learn how to leverage the money that we make. You see what I'm saying? To create longevity, and that's through hard assets, okay? So think about it like this. If you've lived, put a 1 in the chat if you've lived in your neighborhood at least 20 years. Put a 2 in the chat if you've lived in your neighborhood at least 10 years. Okay, I'm asking you that because I want you to think about something. What is the one thing in your neighborhood or as you're driving around your city that never changes? Real estate. Those buildings are always there. You see what I'm saying? And so what happens is when we posture ourselves in business, because we're taught to do business, but we're never taught to invest. Exactly. Land and real estate, we're never taught to invest. But what happens as your city or your area continues to evolve, you're seeing more buildings go up. You're seeing real estate. You're seeing these things. You have buildings that are over 100 years old. Imagine you being able to have a property that you bought and 100 years later, it's still in your family making money for your family. You see what I'm saying? So where TavaVerse comes into play is that it helps position people. It helps position each one of us to not only make money by sharing this opportunity, by pushing the products, by pushing the travel, by even pushing TavaVerse, but now it's let me take this money and put it in an appreciated asset. I have this shirt on that says all about assets. I told my team, my motto is we'll work for assets. So with that being said, where Tava is concerned, I'm not leaving any money on the table. Why? Because when I produce that cash flow by making impact and helping other people, I'm able to actually take that cash flow and put it somewhere to keep making money for me. A lot of times we want to make the money to get the cars and the jewelry and the houses, which are all great. But you also want to get some things that will continue to produce income for you. Imagine setting a goal and saying, I have a goal in the next 2 years. I want to own 10 properties. Each of those properties produce $2,000 a month for you in rent. You can do the math. So now what TavaVerse is here to do is help expand your thinking, help expand your process, right? So we don't want you to just make the money, but we want you to get to the point where you're making your money make money for you. Do you see what I'm saying? So now to talk about the pivoting and talking about the language. I love what Rock said about leverage language, okay? Because I'm getting ready to definitely show you how you can leverage every piece of the Tava movement to create and solve problems. Because remember, the person that solves the problems makes the money. So in solving problems, you cannot be tunnel vision. You have to be in tune to everything that your business has to offer. When you're in tune to what your business has to offer across every leg that it has something to offer, when you're having conversations with people and when you're out and engaging with people, there will be things that they say that immediately make you think of what you have to offer. So for example, put a 1 in the chat if you've ever had a conversation with someone that said, I need some vitamins, I'm tired, I need some energy. You see what I'm saying? Put a 1 in the chat if you've ever had a conversation with someone who said that. Put a 2 in the chat if you've ever talked to someone who said, I'm trying to start this business, but I don't have enough money. I need to get funding, but I don't know where to start. Put a 2 in the chat if you've ever heard that, seen someone post it on social media where they're like, I want to start a business, but I just don't have the money. I don't even know where to start. Put a 3 in the chat if you know someone like, dang, I'm trying to get a 700 credit score. My credit sucks. I can't get anything that I need to get because my credit is jacked. Put a 3 in the chat if you've ever talked to or seen someone post that on social media. Okay? Do you see where I'm going with this? All right? Now, put a 4 in the chat if you know someone that want to buy a house. Put a 4 in the chat if you know someone who wants to purchase a home. Right. I see somebody said me, period. Me, exactly. You want to purchase a home. But did you know, even in the process of purchasing a home, there are strategies that our funding educator, Candace, talks about where there are certain loans that you can utilize that are for first-time home buyers where you can buy a fourplex. And what does that mean? You buy a fourplex, you live in one of your townhouses, you rent the other 3, and your tenants are paying for your mortgage for the whole unit, and you don't have to come out of pocket. Those are the type of strategies, because a lot of times we just think buy a house. Do you see what I'm saying? But now being able to see the strategy behind getting it to where it doesn't cost you out of pocket. This is where TavaVerse comes into play. Put a 5 in the chat if you know someone who has a business, but with that business, they don't have systems in place and they feel like they all over the place. There's no structure and there's chaos. Put a 5 in the chat if you know someone who needs some help getting some order in their business. All right. Put a 6 in the chat if you know someone who sucks at marketing. They're like, I got this business, but I don't know how to get people to look at my business. I don't know how to post on social media, what I should be posting on social media, what strategy I should look at, how algorithms work. I'm trying to maximize what my business is concerned, but I need some marketing help. And then put a 7 in the chat for me if you know anyone who just really needs a mindset shift, meaning you need some constant motivation. You need to be in front of someone who's able to show you how to navigate, because every time you're pushing towards a goal, the reality is there are always going to be challenges. You're going to always have to pivot. But when we renew our mind to keep a pivot mindset, anytime a shift comes, we don't allow that shift to push us backwards, but we allow that shift to thrust us to say, okay, how can I learn here? So when we came over to TavaVerse, mind you, I've been in network marketing since about 2010. And when we came over to Tava, I've just been doing everything in financial systems, that side of things. So when it came back to the health and wealth, I initially was like, I don't want to do it. I was unwilling to shift, but the reality was, even though I felt like people needed these assets, the reality is, unless my health and wealth are intact, I can't enjoy the run to accumulate the assets. If I'm tired, if I'm sick, if I got all these things going on. So now I understand the marriage between them all. How many of you like to travel? If you know people that love to travel, put an 8 in the chat. Do you see what I'm saying? So now, if you keep in the forefront, and this is my homework for you guys, I want you to go to TavaUniversity.com. I want you to pull up the Tava presentation, okay? I want you to really look at the updated presentation that has all 3 divisions. And then I want you to write on a piece of paper everything that Tava United has to offer, okay? And as you write those things down, allow that to shift your mindset and open you up to be able to share everything with everyone. Because now what happens? You may meet someone that may not, let's just say, need some systems, but they want some health and wellness products. You may meet someone that's not really interested in health and wellness products, but they need their credit together. You may meet someone that doesn't want to do real estate yet, but they need some business funding, right? So now what happens is you're able to be the answer. You're able to be the problem solver. You're now able to be marketable across many markets. Do you see what I'm saying? So from the health and the wealth to the business funding, to the mortgage funding, to the credit repair, to real estate investing, to systems, to marketing, to mindset, you have 8 different facets that you're able to touch people. And so the sooner that you can pivot into understanding what there's really to offer versus just trying to be tunnel vision on what you've been doing the last 3 years, the further along you're going to go. When Rock was just talking about the example with the basketball, she was like she used to play basketball and she running towards the goal, but if she guarded right, she had to pivot. The goal was still to get the ball to the net, but she just had to shift the way she was going about getting to the net. And so that's the same thing with what's happening within Tava Nation. It's not making one thing more important than other. It's an expansion. It's actually a benefit to each person on this line because it's giving you an opportunity to reach a lot more people. It is this has literally expanded your reach. This has expanded your market. And so if you leverage it that way, you're going to see nothing but up from this particular point. Do you see what I'm saying? Because the reality is this: there are many network marketing companies out there, but this amazing partnership between Kenny and Shantae and Dr. Jewel is a game changer. And let me tell you why. And I said this briefly at the beginning, but I really want you to understand what you have. Okay. I've personally met people and known people who have thrived in network marketing, who've made millions of dollars, right? But in making those millions of dollars, they weren't taught or didn't know what to do with that money other than buy the clothes, the bags, the shoes, the cars, buying houses. And there's nothing wrong with buying houses, but doing it in a strategic way, because those are definitely assets that you want to have, right? But it's off when you buy a house that you can't keep after your run is over for whatever reason. So they did all of this, and whenever those shifts happen in business, they were almost back like they had nothing. Do you see what I'm saying? So now what's happening with TavaVerse is, while we're making all the money or, building our businesses, now we have a strategy to what we're doing with our money. TavaVerse is strategy. Because what happens is you can have $100,000 right here, exactly, sustainability. You can have X amount of money over here, and you have the option to say, hey, I want to buy this car, or hey, I want to buy this real estate property. You may say, I'm going to buy this car, but I'm about to make this car make money for me. It's all about strategy and how you do it, right? And so what the goal of TavaVerse is help to shift the mindset, to create sustainability, to create longevity, to cause you to continue to scale in your personal life based off of your goals. And so my motto is we'll work for assets. And so my focus is making impact in every person's life that I come in contact with. So now having a clear understanding of everything that Tava has to offer, there is probably not one person I can't talk to that I can't be their answer to something that they need. I can guarantee you every person you talk to need at least one of the things that Tava has to offer. And so now it's time for us as leaders to make sure that we understand what Tava has to offer. So when we're having those conversations, and because you don't fully understand it, don't allow that to deter you from talking or sharing with someone. Be bold enough to say, my company offers XYZ. Let me get you on the phone with. Don't be afraid. Don't feel like you have to know everything. I've built in companies not knowing a lot and impacted a lot of lives. Let me just say it that way. And so being willing to just share and expose and keep the focus of impact every day. You keep the focus on impact, money will come, right? You keep the focus on being willing to pivot, money will come. You keep the focus on leverage, money will come. You always want to look at what you have around you and come up with a system and a strategy to accomplish your goals. But it requires forward thinking, like Rock said. It requires forward thinking like Kenny and Shantae have, like Dr. Jewel have, looking to see what's the next thing. Because when you think of like a Blockbuster back in the day, Blockbuster was popping back in the day when I was a kid, right? But then that's when you had Netflix, like, look, we can just mail out CDs to them and they can send them back. And they were like, nah, we're not trying to do that, right? Eventually they went out of business because they weren't willing to pivot. And so that's the same thing even in business as a whole. You have to be willing to pay attention to the markets and the conditions and the global economics, which is what Dr. Jewel teaches on through TavaVerse every Wednesday. You have to be willing to pay attention to those things to know when to pivot. Pivot doesn't mean giving up. Pivot doesn't mean that you're, putting your business to the wayside. No, pivot means that I'm changing the way that I'm doing something so I can still continue to achieve results. When you choose not to pivot, your results will wane and it will show in your business. So I just really want to challenge you guys and encourage you guys. Make sure that you go and look at the Tava presentation, write down and set your heart to understand each part that Tava has to offer so that you can go out and be someone's answer and not their problem. And Rob, I will turn it over to you, bring you on, and we can keep it moving. So I hope you all got something from that. I'm excited to connect with each of you all on TavaVerse. I teach every Wednesday night at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on everything system. So I'm super excited. So Rock, are you out there? There you go.
No, I'm right here. You know I'm right here. You guys, come on. Put some fireballs in the chat. Put some hearts in the chat. I don't care. Put something in the chat. Let her know that she looks. That's right. They put some roses in the chat for you, just to let you know that you really gave us something. And something dawned upon me, Camille, while you were presenting and training. We're giving homework tonight, right? We're giving home tonight. Lord, I haven't slept, right? Okay, so we're giving homework. What if I'm not gonna give this as homework? Because see, I already know they ain't ready for this. They are not ready for the influx of business that you just opened up for them, and maybe they didn't understand the leverage language you just threw at them, so they might not be ready for this. But I'm just gonna say, what if we're on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different platforms right now, ranging from 20 to 60 people on each platform. So we got a lot of folks on here. It's a lot of folks. All right. People might be looking at the number and say, oh, it's just 2 or 3. No, it's a lot of folks right now in this chat. What if everybody went live on their platform? First of all, they're going to have to come back and hit the replay and study the leverage language, because that's what we call it now. The leverage language you just use with the 1, 2, 3, put a 1 in the chat, put a 2 in the chat. For everyone that puts a 1 in the chat, that opens up the door, that becomes your prospect. That it becomes your person that you now hit their inbox and they say, hey, so you know somebody that feels fatigued and tired. I'm going to send you a sample of something I got called Flair. What? Do you see how your business just exploded?
Mm-hmm.
You gave 8 different numbers. That means that if I get 10 people, I love numbers. If I get 10 people for each number on one live, that's 80 potential partners that I just made if I have time to hit their inbox and respond to them.
Mm-hmm.
Are you serious?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Y'all, did y'all hear that leverage language happening? I told you they ain't ready. I'm not even gonna tell them. I'm just saying, what if? Mm-hmm. Like the preacher say, what if?
Mm-hmm.
What if they did that?
Yeah.
What if because let me see. we are based upon going back to the beginning of the training today is something about an ark. And if you know anything about the scripture, the ark was 2 by 2. And last week with the, I'm sorry, week before last or last month in the back to basics training, we trained on the baseball training, which was leveraging 2 by 2 by 2. We are in a binary pay system, which means two, you get binary pay, binary check. But for some reason, I'm stuck on 2 by 2. So if I go live and get 20 people on my live, because I might not get 100, I might get 20 people that might put a 1 or 2, and I contact those 20 people and I get a 10% because I like numbers response, and that means I will be able to become business partners with 2. That means if I did that once a week, that means that in a month I just got 8 to 10 new business partners, which means that just set me up for at least a supervisor rank. Oh, are you kidding me? Do you guys understand? If y'all don't any other train, I know that this is the training that we and maybe we should train more often, but do you understand the leverage language that Camille just threw down? She did not just talk about TavaVerse, and that's the key. Is leveraging across the board. That's why, and congratulations, Camille, on your rank, because that's why she hit rank. And even though she's an educator, she didn't say, oh, I'm going to wait until I hit a particular rank before you put my banner. No, show me step by step by step, because I'm not stopping. Mm-hmm. The leverage language. I told y'all we're going 5 minutes over. We're now 1 minute over. I love numbers, and my screen just went out. Am I still here? Yeah, I'm here. Yeah. Let me tell you something. This has been one of, I had to text and Beauty, I know you on here. I had to text Beauty and say, Beauty, you just got set up for greatness. You got set up for the win, because Beauty is next week. Mm-hmm. And she getting ready to follow up with the beast herself.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, if y'all feel like I dropped some major value, it all came from Marquita. Like, Marquita's like my best friend, and she's like a guru in marketing. She is the marketing educator. And I just set the stage and the platform, but y'all make sure y'all on the sessions next week with Beauty and Marquita, because it's gonna
be crazy.
That's all I can say. That's all I can say.
It's gonna be crazy. But you guys think about it. Think about what she just gave you. Think about what she just gave you. The opportunities. Go back and listen and watch this training again and again. Put it on replay. Just only because I got some nuggets. And then she said, and this is a new hashtag, and being the director of marketing, I think I can do this without getting in trouble. New hashtag, and I need you, everybody. I don't care if you haven't commented all day. I need everybody to put in the chat right now this new hashtag. Hashtag, you know, the hashtag, Mark, the hashtag. I need you to put hashtag Tava United. Hashtag Tava United. Yeah, that came from you, Camille. I might have, you see what happened on this training. I came up with leverage language, and she gave us a hashtag. Hashtag Tava United. Now, what's going to happen is that this training is going to start sneaking up, because everybody's putting hashtag Tava United. Now the algorithms are going to start picking it up. Start using that hashtag. And all that you do, hashtag Tava United. Let's get something going from this training. Okay? Let's get, am I right, Camille? Is that how it works?
Absolutely.
Okay. So everybody keep putting it in the chat. We need to see it over and over again. Hashtag Tava, no space, Shirley, no space. One word. Hashtag Tava United. Hashtag Tava United. When you post on social media, include that in there. Hashtag Tava United. You know why? You know why? You know why? Because that's what we're discussing. Uniting all of the 3 divisions of Tava, the multiple programs of Tava, falling in love with myself again, the prayer call, all of these things that we are the answer, the solution to, we're bringing it together. It is about hashtag Tava United. Yeah, that's what I'm talking. You see it? You see the chat, Camille, is going crazy.
They lit. They lit.
Crazy. That's what I'm talking about. Okay, you guys, we are out of time. We have exactly 1 minute. That's long enough for our song. Before you go, Camille, is there a shout out or anything else that you'd like to share with Tava Nation or anybody?
I just want to say I'm just super proud of y'all for showing up, and I'm just super proud of y'all for plugging into this session, and I'm just excited to watch you all elevate, grow, and go out and impact.
Absolutely. Amen. 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 Let the church say. And so I am just excited that we got through this thing, that we did this thing. And remember, Tava United, leverage language. Let's kill it this week. You guys, so real quick, let me just go over this again because I want everybody to be reminded that Monday, May 15th, Hour of Power, with none other than our forward-thinking mindset CEO, Mr. Kenny E. Lloyd. And then every Monday through Friday at 4 a.m. 4 a.m. Pacific, 6 a.m. Central, and 7 a.m. Eastern, we have the prayer call, and then we have coffee and cocktails and conversation with Shantae Lloyd with her guest, none other than Glenna. And then on Wednesday, the 17th, we will have Wealth Building Wednesday on the 17th with our Director of Operations. And then we're going to bring it all back again on Saturday with training on leverage and engagement with none other than Beauty J and Marquita Thomas. I'm so excited. I hope that you are. I hope that you got something out of this training. And please share what you learned. We might even do a replay on this because this was crazy good. And you guys, we got a new Tava song. I hope you enjoy it because it encompasses all aspects of Tava. And so I'm going to play it for you as we get on up out of here. Thank you so much. We hit an hour exactly. We doing the doggone thing. I had a ball with you, Camille. Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right. Bye, everybody.
Sit down, I'm talking generational wealth. I'm not new to it, I'm true to it. Trailblazing, I ain't new to it, I'm true to it. That's dedication to the team. Living a dream, come profit with me. Made it mean I'm selling the coffee and tea. Grinding just like coffee beans. Living up my community. Now I need more assets and less liabilities. Gonna buy the whole block up, and it's all because of Tava, yeah. Turn nothing into something with a mindset of abundance where